Well, hi there, and welcome to the annual fundraiser for the Craft Council of British Columbia. This is the 11th annual earring show here at the Craft Council Gallery. I am surrounded, as you can see, by these beautiful works of art all around the wall here. My name is Cheryl McKay, and I am so delighted to be hosting this event again, an event that showcases work, culture, art, materials, design, from all around the world. People have sent in earrings for the competition from around the world, and this is an especially important year, this fundraiser for the Craft Council. Craft Council is experiencing some pretty challenging financial times right now, post-COVID, a lot of the changes that came with that, and so this is your opportunity to support the Craft Council in any way that you can, by shopping for earrings from this wonderful earring show, by sponsoring, by donating, by volunteering. All those ways are possible. So please do get involved and help to support. This organization is so vital to so many artists and artisans in British Columbia. One of the only craft galleries in the province, exclusive craft galleries. It is a treasure. It is a wonderful showcase for arts and craft from around BC and right now from around the world. The earring show will be up on the walls in the gallery here at the Craft Council Gallery on Granville Island until the 23rd of May. You can shop online right now, and you can view the whole show online until the end of August. You can shop until the end of August too, so please do. And in the competition, there are three categories. There's the Emerging Artist Award, the One-of-a-Kind Award, and the Limited Editions Award. And we will meet the winning artist in each category in just a few moments. But first, here's Maita to tell you about the Emerging Artist Award.
Thank you, Cheryl. Right here is where all of the emerging artists are displayed. And the special thing about this is that all of these artists have just recently started their artistic journey making crafts, or are students that are currently enrolled or have recently graduated from a craft-related program. And this is really impressive because all of this looks so professional. It's like so high-level art, and yeah, this really impresses me because all of these artists are just beginning. This is a great opportunity for them because for many of them it's the first experience and exhibiting their work and showing it to a general public or like a crafts community. And I've picked two earrings that just stood out to me the most. One of them is this one, or like this entire collection, but especially this one. It's called Boundless Blossoms by Sofila Niknavs. And the whole collection is named Embrace of Freedom Collection, and she's an Iranian artist living in Canada. And the Iranian background is particularly interesting to me because this collection is meant to show the dynamic of, or like the dynamic nature of feminine liberation or like women's liberation. And with what's going on in Iran right now, it's just really impressive to me and touching. And she started getting into wood arts through her husband, who operates an art school doing wood arts or specialized in wood arts. By using the robust wood and the delicate gemstones, she's showing the interplay, or that's what she says in her own work description. She's intending to show the interplay between the strength and the vulnerability. This is just very, for me it looks very appealing, and I picked it. At first I just picked these earrings because of the design, and I think they look really pretty, but with the message and the concept behind it, it just even gets more impressive because she intends to make people think about and discuss the diversity of femininity and women's liberation. And she's doing it in such an artistic way, and she finds her inspiration in living close to the seaside and often using driftwood as her primary material. This also includes like a sustainability aspect into her work, which I really like personally. Another pair of earrings that stood out to me and fascinated me is this one. It's the Submerged Serenity by Kexin Wen. And The artist intends to make jewelry beyond traditional understanding of jewelry, and she wants to create wearable art that integrates with the wearer's body. So she's exploring like the relationship and the dynamics between the body and the jewelry. And she's using traditional techniques but combining them with a modern design, modern aesthetics. And she often uses, or for this work, she also uses the symbol of water to express her exploration of the body-jewelry relationship. And this work is inspired by the feeling of being immersed by water, which I think you can see by the flowing and really calm design. And this one stood out to me because of the uncommon shape and its like flowing and calm aesthetic. And it's also interesting that this is wearable without having ear piercing. So this is also a very unique fact about this work. Now back to Shara, who is going to announce the winner of the Emerging Artists category.
Thank you, Maita. And yes, the Emerging Artist Award this year goes to Vancouver-based artist Vian Perkaya. And Vian is a Kurdish artist who's a student here as well and based in Vancouver these days. And her winning set of earrings is from a series called The Heavy Presence of Absence. It's a theme that occurs quite often in her work these days. And Vian is exploring the whole idea of being without a home, without a homeland, with a language that is threatened in many ways. And this theme occurs a lot in her work, and that will be part of the conversation I have with Vian right now. So Vian, I'll start by saying congratulations on winning this award.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
What was it like to find out that your work had been chosen?
It was very exciting, and it's a very busy time for me right now as well. I'm a second-year student at Vancouver Community College, Jewellery Art and Design program. And we're in our capstone term, so we are working on our final projects. And when I found it out, it was definitely a great surprise amongst like all the chaos and everything that's been going on.
Yes, what a time! Oh my goodness! So when will you be finished? When's your end date for the capstone project?
Very, very soon. Our exhibition is on May 31st.
Okay.
So I will be graduating very soon. It's a very bittersweet feeling because I love my class. I love what I'm doing. So it's exciting to move forward, but it's also a little sad to leave everything and everyone behind.
Vian, how did you become interested in metalwork and in creating jewelry?
That's a great question. I think it was just like something within me, just like whispering that is what I'm supposed to do, almost like an urge, because I actually studied international economics at university, which is very different. So I don't really have like a very specific moment where it was just like, it was just like an instinct, I guess. And I'm glad I trusted it because I've just been loving every second of it.
It is quite a change in direction, it seems. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Earrings are so beautiful. The heavy presence of absence. I'll just hold them up here to the camera. And they're just gorgeous. And the concept is so incredible. I don't know if people can see, but they're the same materials reversed in a way. Can you explain a bit about the idea behind these, the physical idea before we get into the philosophical?
Okay, sure. I mean, I don't know if I can separate the both. Do you mind if I kind of just like explain them in context?
Yes.
The heavy presence of absence. So with these earrings, I seek an answer to a question which is not very easy to answer. what is it like to belong to a nation without a homeland? I'm Kurdish. I was born in Turkey, moved to Canada in 2014. So with this earrings as well, they're in sterling silver, and I also use some freshwater pearls as well. And one of the earrings, as you showed, displays perfect order and alignment. You know, lines, everything is aligned perfectly. Whereas when we look at the other earring, we see that order is lost as those oxidized compartments are being displaced. And in the absence of those components that initially made up that like canvas of identity, I think we can feel the weight of their absence. And because of that weight, that canvas is now like falling downward. That was the idea behind the earrings.
And the emptiness too, like you say, the emptiness.
Yes, exactly.
And the pearl is displaced, everything.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
I was going to say, we're looking at these and we're just so, I mean, they're beautiful things, but they're so intriguing too. And just, it draws me in to wonder about what is that story? Yeah. Where did the idea start?
I guess that's the best. Like that's the best compliment an artist can receive if the work is making the audience just like pause for a second and just wonder. I think that's just like the most beautiful thing. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Where did the idea come from? I guess like it is just like who I am. My identity is a big part of me. So there's this author, Amin Malouf. He's a Lebanese-born French author. And I remember in one of, he writes historical fiction mostly. I haven't read him in a while, but I remember in one of his books, he was mentioning how it is usually the most threatened parts of our identities we tend to associate ourselves most strongly with. And in my case, it is like me being Kurdish. I basically belong to one of the largest ethnicities without a sovereign state. We have a population of around 35 to 45 million people, and we live within the borders of Turkey, Iran, Iraq, and Syria. And by being a large minority in those countries, there's obviously like certain things that come with it that you face, and then you grow up kind of just like with this identity that is like, it is there, it is not there, there's a lot of like in-betweenness. So I guess like it's just like growing up, the question of identity has always been fascinating to me. And I think I'm very much inspired by words. Like when I feel stuck with a creative project, I like to just like think about the books I read in the past that inspired me in one way or another, or just like try to find like a nice like an interesting article that talks about things beautifully. I'm very drawn to people who can articulate themselves really well as well. It's just like, so I start to write down words usually, and that's how the title of that work came up too. It's actually inspired by my favorite book title ever. Not necessarily my favorite book, but my favorite book title, The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera. And I usually, it's always like, that title is always in my mind maps whenever I'm trying to come up with ideas. And it was in that case too. And then that led to The Heavy Presence of Absence, which I guess like it explains how I feel being a Kurd. And like, you know, it's just, it's kind of like part of who I am in a way, I think.
I find it so interesting. It sounds to me like you're saying that the name came before you actually created this work. Am I right?
I would say that in my creative process, there's a lot of back and forth. The Heavy Presence of Absence is also my theme for my capstone project. So currently I'm working on 5 pieces that examine the same theme. Little slightly different than this piece stylistically, I would say. But so like during that process, there's lots of like mind mapping, collecting visual inspiration, words. So it's like deciding on a theme for my capstone. It's just like, I can't say one came before the other, kind of like the chicken egg situation. There's just like so much back and forth, back and forth. And to be honest, creative process never feels complete, I guess, until like it's the deadline. That's when, you know, a piece is completed, it's supposed to be completed, but that you can always improve on things, you can always add more. I guess that's the beauty of it in a way. Like one piece ends and then that's the beginning of another piece, and you always have more to say, which leads to more pieces in a way.
Do you have any of the pieces with you there that you're working on for your capstone project within reach?
Not really. Everything is work in process. But I do have like the first prototype of a pair of earrings that I'm working with. I could maybe show that. And that one is actually a 3D print, which we started learning how to use Rhino this year. So I wanted to incorporate some 3D printed jewelry in my capstone as well. They will be cast in silver, but right now, so these are the first prototype. It's going to change a little bit, but the idea is once these are cast in silver, they are, I mean, I'm wearing another pair of earrings, so it's not the easiest thing to show, but they will be hugging the ear. Kind of like
yes, lovely. Yeah.
And these are actually the sound waves of a Kurdish song. So again, the same idea, the heavy presence of absence. So a decade before I was born, it was still forbidden to listen to the Kurdish songs or like even speak in Kurdish in Turkey. So that could get you in serious trouble. And, you know, that's still like very recent history. And I like, because of that context, historical context, I, like most of my peers, grew up without learning how to speak my mother tongue. So I guess like these earrings still examine that feeling of the heavy presence felt in the absence of a mother tongue that you can express yourself freely in. And songs, like no matter how much they're like, people can ban listening to the songs, but if like it carries such cultural context, and like if you grew up hearing these songs, that they're always like in your ear, kind of like that idea behind the earrings. People can ban it, but like if it's in your heart, it's still in your ear. You still like feel the weight of it, the presence of it.
That is, just thinking of that with the image of that sound wave hugging your ear, it's so moving.
Thank you.
What do you see as far as your future work goes? What would you like?
That's a difficult question to answer, but it's also an exciting question to think for answers, I guess. This theme is definitely something I do want to explore further, because it's kind of like, you know, I would say the theme found me. I didn't find the theme, you know, like sometimes you just like can't but like think about certain things. So that will probably carry on. But it's so I'm also always, as I said, I'm just like inspired by what I read, what I see. So I do like working more in a sculptural style, I think. So so far I haven't done like any like super big pieces, but even like the rings that I make are usually more on the like statement ring side of the things, a little larger. So it'd be nice to like maybe scale it up a little bit, you know, like start going a little larger slowly and see where that takes me. And then just keep an open mind and see like what is getting my heart beating faster, and then like follow it. And yeah.
It's lovely to have a chance to talk to you, and thank you for this time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And congratulations again.
Thank you, Cheryl.
And all the best with getting the capstone project finished up, and very exciting.
Oh, thank you. Please wish me luck. Time is ticking.
Well, we'll look forward to that show too.
Thank you very much. It was very lovely meeting you.
Perfect. Thank you. That was beautiful. Thanks.
Bye. Have a wonderful day.
You too, Vian. Bye. And congratulations again to Vianne for winning the Emerging Artist Award as part of the earring show here at the Craft Council of British Columbia. What a time for her, winning this, being in the middle of getting her capstone project ready for graduation. I look forward to seeing more of her work in the grad show as well. Just a reminder, the earring show is up here at the Craft Council Gallery until the 23rd of May. You can come in person if you're anywhere nearby. And as you've been seeing with some of the video as part of the show, have a look at this beautiful art that is on the walls here in the form of earrings, and buy some and take them home. That is the idea here. It's a big fundraiser, the biggest fundraiser of the year for the Craft Council of British Columbia, an organization that supports artists around the province, features their work, and also is a real cultural hub in British Columbia, facing financial challenges right now, as so many cultural organizations are. So your help is extra important this year. Please do shop in person or online. You have an opportunity to do that any old time and until the end of August, specifically for the earring show. Your help is most welcome at this time. And speaking of that, I'd like to thank sponsors for the earring show this year: Barbara Cohen, Lacey West, Benton Brothers Cheese, CMHC Granville Island, Kasama Chocolate, Porchlight Press, and Bon Macaron. Now we're going to hear about the second category, and in a few minutes we'll meet the winner of the second category. First of all, here is Corey talking about this category, which is called Limited Edition.
Hi, my name is Corey. I work at the Craft Council of BC, and I'll be talking about the Limited Edition category. The Limited Edition category is artwork that's produced in a limited run. This means that artists can submit up to 3 pairs of earrings in a series, and in that series it has to have a base design concept, but the earrings themselves may have different colors or materials used. One reason that we love the limited edition category here at the Craft Council is because we get to see the breadth of the creativity of the artist expressed through their series. It's incredible to see them take a design concept and morph it into 3 different pairs of earrings. One of the series in the limited edition category that stood out to me are these earrings by Melissa Hudson. One reason that they stood out to me was because of her technique. She mentioned that she uses a combination of fixing and casting to set the precious stones in the silver, but she mentioned that when she goes into it, she doesn't exactly know how it's going to turn out. And so I love her playfulness in how she approaches making the earrings, and also the final result. It does come out as a playful and fun earring. Another pair of earrings that stood out to me from the limited edition category based on materials used are these dragonfly earrings by Judy and Janet Malloy. So these earrings feature dragonfly wings set in resin and then on a silver spiral. I really loved the fact that these artists incorporated their love of nature into their jewelry making. And you can see the dragonfly wings are magnified and really illuminated in the resin. Another series in the limited edition category that stood out to me based on concept were these earrings by Anna Olgolkoka. She said in the write-up for these earrings that she's inspired by the poetry of everyday objects, contemporary art, and ancient jewelry. I think that these 3 earrings are exactly exemplify those motifs that she's inspired by. I think those 3 ideas have come together beautifully, and they're beautifully expressed in this series. The earrings that I mentioned are just a few of the incredible designs in the limited edition category at the earring show. Now over to you, Cheryl, to hear the winner of the limited edition category.
Thank you so much, Corey. And I am delighted to announce that the winner this year in the limited edition category is Beo Fuente. And Beo is an artist based in San Sebastian in Spain. And her work is from a series called Biophilia. Now, when you see photos of these beautiful works by Beo, well, it's one thing. They're colorful, they're frothy, they have a really interesting texture. Touching them is a whole other sensory experience. You can see how flexible they are. It feels like moss or some kind of wonderful sea life when you touch it. And that is because Beo works with silicone, cotton, as well as metal, and uses all kinds of pigments in her work. Now, Beo told us that her internet reception is very spotty where she lives in San Sebastian, and so we decided I'd send her some questions and she would send us some answers via video.
So hi there everyone, I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you through Zoom because I don't really have a good connection at home, so I'm sorry. It was going to be really late as well for me. So anyway, thank you very much for the prize. I'm really happy you gave it to my collection, and so I'm just gonna talk to you about it if you want. Well, this collection started from a failure, if you want, from a happy accident, I rather think. And I tried to do something, it didn't come out well. I was gonna throw it away, but then gave it a second look and just saw the potential in it. So I just kept on developing it, and it's taken me like 4 years to fully get to where I wanted, and now I'm really happy with it. It's just all about playing for me. When I started working with metal around 2011, I think it was, the 2008 economic crisis here in Spain got me to lose my job at a school where I was. And although I was okay with it, I wasn't fully happy because I couldn't create, and I'm a very creative person. So I got sacked, but that became a turning point in my life, and I just found this jewelry course and I just jumped into it. And from the first minute there, I just knew that was my thing. It allows me to create more freely. I came from a background of graphic design and photography, and I was just fed up with the digital world and the computers and how they soak your energy. So I needed to go back to working with my hands because that's what I really like, just getting dirty. And I started with a metal. Well, actually, my workspace is a very small room in my dad's workshop. He's an artist, he's a painter and a sculptor himself. So he offered to give me this little room in there. And it's got a window, but no good views, nothing nice, no trees or anything. It's just the street, basically. But I like seeing people coming and going, and I just need my radio, and I like to hide in there because I know people are just dreading their jobs and mostly, and because I feel so grateful that I can do what I'm passionate about. I like to just stay in there without anyone knowing I'm there having fun. Yeah, well, the biophilia name, yeah, I was reading a magazine some time ago, and it was an interior decoration magazine, and it talked about this theory from this biologist. And although it seems very obvious that we have a deep connection with nature, and our well-being improves if we go for a walk in the woods, or just go to the beach we have here, just staying around nature and appreciating it. So the theory talks about like including natural elements in your life for a healthier and happier life, and I just thought it was the perfect name for my collection. Inspiration can come from anywhere. It can just be something I read, or materials I find, or I don't know, something I see out in the street, just about anything. it's just, it's not so much about inspiration, I think, than it is about playing. I don't know in English how you say this, but the muses won't find you unless you're working, sort of. So I just like to start doing something. Don't have a clue what I'm doing. Normally, I have no idea, I have no sketch. I just wanna have fun. So I will start messing around, and sometimes I get nice things or interesting things, and some of the things I just put in a cupboard and keep them there till they find their moment. So I have cupboards and drawers full of bits and bobs I've been doing, and then one day they find their way out. I wanted to explore the theme of nature because I am a very environmentally conscious woman. I'm very worried about how we are mistreating the earth and how we're heading to a point of no return, and I just don't understand how people can be so selfish and just not appreciate what nature gives us. So yeah, I thought it was a way to connect again people with the natural world, because it resembles the natural world so well. So yeah, at the moment I'm working on rings. I have a passion for rings. I'm a ring maker. I don't normally wear any other jewelry apart from rings, and they have to be like statement, bold, chunky, heavy pieces, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. Well, jewelry for me, or artistic or sculptural or experimental jewelry, for me is like a playground full of toys and candies, and just no limitations. I can express myself however I want, and I don't have to restrict myself to metal. I can play with plastics, with wires, with wood, with, I don't know, with paintings, and just kind of get everything in there. So it's just so much fun. I love it.
And that is artist Bello Fuente from her home in San Sebastian in Spain. And congratulations. I want to say a great big thank you to all the supporters of the Craft Council of BC. For those of you who live in the Greater Vancouver area, you can visit the gallery and see the earring show in person until the 23rd of May. It's all up online and will be there until the end of August. And so you can shop here or you can shop online. And anytime, not just the earring show, but anytime, a big thank you to all of you who shop online or in person with the Craft Council of British Columbia. You're supporting this wonderful organization that represents artists from around the province and helps support the culture of British Columbia. And as I mentioned a bit earlier, facing a bit of financial challenges right now, a challenging financial time right now for the Craft Council. And so your support is extra welcome at this time. So please keep that in mind, and you can buy a pair of those beautiful earrings by Bello, or the ones we saw earlier by Vianne, or we're about to meet the third winner in the 3 categories for the earring show here at the Craft Council of British Columbia. And this is the one-of-a-kind category. Here's Charlene.
Hi, my name is Charlene Rashad. I'm the Curatorial Associate here at the Craft Council of British Columbia, and behind me are the submissions of this year's one-of-a-kind categories for the Earring Show 2024. The one-of-a-kind category is just like its name. It is one of a kind. All of the earrings are not mass-produced. They are all handmade, and they're all unique to its artistic vision of our lovely submittants. One of the pairs that stood out to me in this year's one-of-a-kind category is a pair called Mediterranean Ripple by a Turkish artist named Oze Boke. And she is currently residing in the west coast of Turkey, and her practice is inspired by the environments of her home country. So the texture, the ruggedness of nature, and the organic and fluidity of water. What I like about in this pair in particular is how the artist is able to combine three different concepts into a cohesive piece as illustrated here. So if you can see the innovative use of the silver string as the posting to be worn in juxtaposition to the hanging material, which is right here, that is rugged, jagged, and very industrial. And everything is tied together by these addition of these singular pearl. Just like this pair, there are many beautiful earrings in the one-of-a-kind category at CCBC Gallery. And now I'm going to hand it off to Cheryl, who will be speaking to our one-of-a-kind winner.
Thank you so much, Charlene. And I am delighted to announce that the winner of the one-of-a-kind category this year is an artist based in Korea, Yeji Lee. And in fact, this is the second time that Yeji has submitted earrings to the earring show. This year, she's a winner. She collects antique and vintage dies and molds and makes the jewelry using those, using pressure on metal and leather to create the pieces, and often, as in the earrings that won this award, assembling them in a most beautiful and seamless kind of a way. The earrings are, as you'll see, they're leather and silver, and they're made from many tiny molds. In this case, it's called Objects of Human. And as you'll see in these earrings, there are little boots and little jars and little cans. And the backs of these earrings are as intricately made as the fronts are as well. It was so nice to get a chance to talk to Yeji from her studio in Korea. We had to do a bit of time adjustment, so this was recorded earlier. It was morning, her time. Yeji, first I'll start by saying congratulations. Congratulations on being one of the winners this year.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so happy.
I see that you're wearing a piece of your work right now. Yeah.
I'm wearing
this is
my
amazing. Yeah, and I've got one of your earrings.
Yes, it's a similar technique.
I'd love to start first of all by asking you a bit about this technique, all these tiny pieces that you put together exquisitely. How does this work?
How does it work? It's very as I showed you, there is like metal dies here. So there are positive and negative metal dies, and I put the annealed metal sheets between, and then I press them together.
And then you assemble. Sorry, go ahead.
And this is the press machine here, the hydraulic machine. I always use this to create things.
And where have you found these little molds and dies that you use?
Okay, first I went to Germany when I was at the graduate school. I went to Germany as an exchange student, and at that time I had a chance to experiment like old metal dies and old techniques and machines at the school, but also at the museum. So from that time I started to experiment this technique. And in Korea, I wanted to do it continuously, but it was very difficult to find metal dies. So I went to like small factories in Seoul where they make metal dies, and I asked them if they have something useless one. So they gave it to me. So that's the starting point in Korea.
What was it then? Why were you interested to begin with in working with these little with the dies and the molds? What was interesting to you about that?
What was interesting for me? Okay, what was interesting? Because I experimented with different kinds of material, not only the metal, but also like leather and plastic and very different kinds of material. And I really like the power of the press that That's, yeah, it makes everything harder and everything in hollow foam and everything very lighter to wear and to make jewelry. Sorry, that is why I really liked it. And I was really fascinated by the antique shapes of the metal dies. Right. Because if we use it, people can feel the modern and the antique at the same time if I use it in my work. So that is why I really like the technique, the tools.
Ah. Are you still collecting the little dies?
Yeah, I'm still.
Yeah?
Yes. I always collect them.
Is there one you found recently that's very, I don't know, exciting to you to have this particular shape in your collection?
I'm sorry.
Is there one you found recently that you're really keen that you found, really happy to have found a particular shape or image?
Yes, very happy. And I spent a lot of money to collect them. Yeah.
And is there, sorry?
At the beginning, I tried to collect like antique shape, and then I try to collect like animal things. And nowadays, I'm trying to collect like objects of humans, like as you can see in my earrings, the bottles or women or shoes, and the bags or something like that.
Yes, because these have backs and fronts. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, thank you.
The work, how do you put these together so seamlessly, so beautifully?
Oh, okay. First, I press like sterling silver and white copper separately. And then I cut out some part of white copper. And then I put together and press them again. So here is the similar earrings that you have. And the white part is sterling silver. The dark part is white copper. So it's a layer of two different metals. And sometimes I put leather inside of the metal and then I press them again. So it looks like one body.
And this is the leather, I think, in these earrings.
Yeah,
that's the boot?
Yeah, that's the leather.
That's so cool. And then
I solder.
Yeah, you solder, right?
I solder them each one by one.
Amazing.
And then that's how I work.
What got you interested in working with metal in the first place? Because when I look at your bio, you went to Germany to study German and literature, and then, I don't know, sort of took a turn.
Yes.
How did that happen?
How? You mean how?
How did you discover your passion for working with metal?
Actually, I traveled a lot, like in Korea and also in another country since I was young. And I always like to collect the jewelry because when I see the jewelry, I can understand the own culture of the places. So I really like to collect earrings or jewelries from every countries or different places. And one day I thought like, maybe I want to create my jewelry contains my own stories and my own culture. So I went to the institute to learn like metal work more. And from that time, I start my passion for like metal work. And there is a teacher who recommended me to go to the graduate school to learn work more. So I went to the school and my career starts from there.
Do you love it right away when you started working with metal?
Yes, I loved it.
Sorry?
I think I'm quite patient person. So I like the process. It's really slow, but at the end, I can see like some artwork. I can see something I've done. So I really liked it from the beginning.
You talked about stories, about your story. what are some of the narratives? What are some of the stories that you see in these beautiful pieces? For this one, for example, yeah.
For example, first of all, I just want to show the techniques and my tools. So that's the most important thing in my jewelry, to show my techniques and tools. And secondly, narratives. The narratives are all different. Sometimes it's about human, and sometimes it's about animals.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's about like memories of the people. So people, if the people see my works, sometimes they remind their past times or their memories. Like, for example, like these bunnies here.
Yes.
You see, when people see this in my work, they remind their childhood or something.
Right.
Or like sweet chocolates. So I really like to show, I really like this part because they can make their narrative through my pieces.
Right.
That's what I intend to do.
That connection, like you say, that, oh, that means something very special to me. Yes.
So people want to create their own story through my works.
What are you working on right now, Yeji?
I am preparing for fair snack. I don't know if you've heard of it. The snack fair in San Diego in this June. It's like a Society of North American Goldsmiths.
Oh, okay.
And they hold fair every year, fair and conference.
Right.
So I will participate the fair in this June in San Diego.
Nice.
I'm working for it. And also I will have an solo exhibition in this October in Baltimore. So I'm preparing for it as well.
That's a lot of work to get.
Yeah, it's a lot
to
of
get
work.
ready. Yeah. Do you have something on the bench right now?
You mean the works?
Yeah. Anything?
I have some brooches. It's quite different styles.
Oh gosh.
Earring, it's all like moving.
And it's, yeah, interesting.
And
that is so cool.
Back, there is also the press.
Oh,
here.
Yeah, it's interesting. Your work has the back is something as well. Yeah.
Because of the techniques, I can make both sides.
And it's so light.
Yeah, it's so light. That's really good. And I can show you some collected metal dies like this. I don't know if you can see.
Maybe just tip it a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh, what does it say on it?
It's a metal. It was for making metal of Korean university, one of the Korean university in
cool.
1910. So this is very antique. And this was for making badges of company in Korea. And this was for making hairpin. Hairpin in Korea. So these are my antique tools from Korea, the factory in Korea, collected.
So it's part of treasure hunt as well.
Yes. I have like 50 metal molds around me.
Fantastic. Do people bring you pieces as well? Do people find things and go, oh, I found this, here you go?
No, not really.
No. You better get your friends on that.
I need some places where I can find in real.
Right.
More places.
There's something really interesting too, and I think you mentioned this in some of your writing about the combination of the industrial and the art, so it going together in a really interesting way.
I really like it. I can change the purpose of the tools.
Yeah.
That's why I liked to use this technique and these tools. So actually, the metal dies and the press technique. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Okay, that's right.
That's right.
The metal dies and press technique were used for like making like mass productions or things fast. But in my work, the purpose of using the technique is totally different.
Right.
So yeah, through with my hands and with my imagination, I can create the only one thing in the world. And that is why I really like the process of this technique and using these tools.
It's terrific to have a chance to talk to you in your studio this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I was quite nervous.
Oh, you were great.
Yeah.
And congratulations again on this award. Wonderful to see your work.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was so nice to talk to you.
Thanks, Yeji.
Thank you.
And congratulations one more time to Yeja Lee. And she is the winner this year of the One of a Kind Award with the earring show at the Craft Council of British Columbia, the big fundraiser of the year. And that is about it for the earring show for this year. I want to say a great big thank you to everyone who worked so hard to make this fundraiser possible. First of all, to Rain Mackay from the Craft Council, to Sarah Montroy and Corey DeVries, and intern Meta from the Craft Council, to Sinem Begley as well, and volunteers, so many volunteers who helped to put this together. Alex and Juliana and Charlene, Nikki, Luna, Daniel, Mathieu, Manat, and Mingyan. Also to the jurors who helped with the very challenging task of choosing the winners from amongst these incredible entries again this year in the earring show. To all the sponsors who helped to make this possible, and to the artists, of course, to all the artists who have submitted work this year, and some of you for many years as well. Thank you so much. It is so good to see your artistry and your creativity. I want to remind you one more time that this is a grand way to support the Craft Council of British Columbia, the biggest fundraiser of the year, and the Craft Council facing some financial challenges right now. Really, really would appreciate your help, whether you're shopping at the earring show, which is here in person at the Craft Council Gallery until the 23rd of May, online as a possibility for shopping starting now and right up until the end of August. All your purchases, your support, volunteering perhaps as part of the Craft Council, any way that you can jump in and pitch in and get involved. This is such an important organization for all of British Columbia. It is a cultural organization supporting artists and artisans around the province. It's one of the places we come to see some of the wonderful creative energy and output of our beautiful artists in BC as well. I can't imagine what we would do without the Craft Council and without this gallery. So your support is so very welcome. Thanks so much for watching the earring show again this year and taking part. My name is Cheryl McKay, and I'm so glad to have been part of the event again this year. Bye for now.